Okay, and so one of the things I think is important um, for anybody that's going to work on trying to develop a, uh, a game plan to recruit and to just talk to people about what the opportunity has and what we can do for people and what we have in place for people is real simple. One of the very first things that I thought of when I was putting this together is how cool is it that we can start our very own business for $150 plus tax. The average franchise fee for a business is $100,000 today, and the average business person who opens up in a brick and mortar store on their own generally will spend between $50,000 to $100,000. And of all the people that start their own businesses in a brick and mortar traditional manner, 90% of them fail within the first 3 years. Okay, so this is really important for people to understand. That in and of itself, to me, makes no sense, right? So in today's business climate, while we have our own store, we've made it past our 3-year marker, and we're on our 12th year marker, going on our 13th with Amish Country Essentials. And Saponify is something that we've worked with before in the past. So, you know, we have no concerns with what we're doing. We have a very stable business. We have a very consistent plan for everybody. And one of the things I think that's also important for people to understand too is when we're talking to people about opportunity and we say, okay, here's some of the things that we're doing, and here's why I think this is going to be important for you, is that you can work from anywhere. All right, you can actually work from any place that you want to work from. This is a traveling business, and so for me, I say, okay, we can work from anywhere, right? And that's important to me because we take a lot of trips, and I want to have the ability to log on to my computer, send out information to all my consultants, send out information to all of my customers, be able to run sales events from anywhere I go to. And with the way the technology is today, that's something that we can do. And so I think that, you know, with the fact that this is something you can tell people, look, and you can work at your own pace with this, literally take your business on the road. If you want to go see your parents down in Florida, you take it with you. You can do business in Florida. You can do business wherever you go. And that's the great thing about Saponify Naturals. A lot of companies offer something similar, but not quite the same fashion. Okay, and that's one thing that we have to really make sure we are making people understand, is that we offer everything across the board. You know, you have the different sales options, the different venues, etc. But one of the larger issues that most people run into when they're looking at starting their own company or looking to try something different to make money is a lot of times they go that brick and mortar route. They have to have employees. And the employees are one of the largest costs, actually, if not the largest cost to a brick and mortar business or a traditional business, because the employees cost a whole lot more than what it is you pay them, because you have to do matching costs, you have workers' compensation, insurances that you have to pay, and you know, these are all things that keep companies from being profitable. And so this is really big here, okay? For me, this is really big. Working anywhere, from anywhere you go, no need for the overhead or expenses that you would generally incur by starting your own business. And then one of my favorite things is working with your own schedule. Be able to create your own schedule, work as you need, to be able to work around the events that happen in your life. If your kids are, you know, have an event during the day, you know, you may be, if you work for somebody else, then this right here is the perfect opportunity for anybody, because if you're working for yourself, you can basically see everything that happens in your kids' lives and never have to worry about telling them there's a reason why you can't come see what they're doing. You know, things happen. I understand that happens in everybody's life, but that was one of the most gratifying things for Tracy and I when we started working for ourselves, was that we were able to take more time to see the events in our kids' lives and be able to spend time going to see them at their band concerts and choir concerts, and going to see our nieces and nephews play baseball and do these things. All really important. So this is another key point right here when you're talking to people that you really want to kind of key on and say, listen, you can set your own schedule. If you want to work 3 hours during the day or whatever, or if you are better in the evening, whatever it may be, you find what works for you and you do it. And one of the things that are really near and dear to me is that in this type of a business, there's no discrimination. Everybody has the exact same opportunity, rich, poor, male, female. It doesn't really matter. You have the same opportunity to be successful. And ultimately, we want all of you to be successful and as rich as you want to be. And that will come by the amount of effort you're willing to put into it. Now, I know personally, for me, back 10, 15 years ago, people, especially in the multi-level marketing world and in the direct sales world, we may look at somebody and say, well, I don't know if they'd be able to do this. They may not be able to do this. And then we would prejudge sometimes, because we didn't feel that somebody might have the same qualifications to do it, because we were looking at what we were doing and didn't think that was something that might fit them. And that's the worst thing in the world that you can do, because people aren't going to be mad at you for asking them if they're interested in your opportunity, but they may be mad at you if you don't offer them that opportunity. And so that's something to think about. You may have friends that I really don't want to talk to them about this. It might be something they're not interested in, and I feel like I'll be bothering them or pestering them. And I think that that's an area where we all have to get better, is that not only do we need to share the opportunity with everybody we think could do it, but also everybody we think may not be able to do it, because you'd be surprised at how many people might say, you know what, that sounds like an awesome opportunity, and I'm willing to try that. And so no discrimination at all with us on this, and I think that's very, very important. Another thing I love about what we do and what we offer with Saponify Naturals is that really there's no corporate ladder to climb, okay? We don't, we do not make people jump through hoops to be successful, okay? You don't have to come to work every day at 9 o'clock and clock in like a good little boy or girl and make sure that you're there. And that's one of the things I think, and yeah, Caitlin, I understand that looking at people and thinking that they may or may not be able to do what you're doing. Does that seem maybe be part of what you're talking about? Because Caitlin just said that may be my biggest issue is, are you talking about just not sharing the opportunity, or thinking I'm bugging people? Yeah, okay, gotcha. Well, listen, that I can appreciate that, because everybody has that hang up. And that's one of the things I think that, when you work for a company, here's an example. So at McDonald's, we'll use that as an example. So if you're an employee at McDonald's and you're working the front line and people come in, all right, part of your job is upselling them on products. So somebody comes in and they order some food, and then they ask you, well, would you like fries with that? Would you like it to be larger? Would you like it to be whatever, right? And so these younger kids, stand there and do this because they're making $8.25 an hour, right? And they have no problem saying those things or asking those things to every single person that comes in. Most of the time they do that, right? And so now you work for another company where you're on the phone and you're a customer service representative, and they may say, we have to call these people back and see how they're doing, right? How they like their product, et cetera, et cetera. This is the exact same thing. It's no different. You have a company that you own. You are now trying to develop a customer base. You're trying to share the opportunity, and you are trying to make people understand that you want to help them not only in their home with their choices that they're making, but also maybe financially to become free and not be stuck in the same grind that everybody's in. And so I understand when you think about the fact that you're bugging people, if you hadn't seen this opportunity and contacted us, and then we called you back on this, would you still, you probably wouldn't be here today, right? So I think that the thing that you have to get past, Caitlin, is don't feel like you're bugging people. Feel like you're helping people. You're helping people because you're giving them some options and alternatives to what they may currently be doing. The worst thing that anybody can ever say to you, Caitlin, is I'm not interested. That's it. They can't take your birthday away from you or do anything like that. They can't do anything to hurt you in those ways. And that's a lot of times people that really bothers too, because they don't know how to take rejection. And one of the things in one of the trainings that I did back at the beginning of this, about 4 or 5 sessions ago, was about taking things personally and personal rejection. You're going to get a lot more no's than you get yeses. Now, that's not always the case. Sometimes you get a lot of yeses because, you know what, you're just getting to a rhythm, you're comfortable, you're confident, you get on the phone, you make your calls, and people are like, wow, she really loves what she's doing. I'm going to try that, at least see. right? So it doesn't hurt anybody in doing those things, right? So I think that is an area that everybody can improve in, because nobody wants to bug people, in that sense. But look at it like this. For every person that you don't call, there's another consultant from another company that's going to call them. And so are you willing to give up that customer to somebody else when they could potentially be your customer? You have to think about it that way. You're competing in an open market for customers, and you're competing in an open market for consultants as well to share the opportunity with. And so you just want to be better at finding what it is that makes it easy for you to do it, and then you'll be successful at it. I guarantee it. And I would love to get on the phone with you. Even Debbie's really good at this, to get on the phone with you and do some potential roll call and some role playing with you to make you get more comfortable with maybe even answering some objections and some things like that. And we can actually do some training on that. I think that that's an area that will really improve people's abilities to excel in that area, because there are some people that are gifted at this, and they are really strong at talking to people on the phone, at speaking in the public, and that don't have a problem with asking people to do things. And Debbie is one of those people. She is phenomenal at that. So so we'll definitely do that. And so that's important. But what I love about the fact that there's no corporate ladder and there's no cap is, I used to work for a company, and I was in upper middle management. And I knew there was no way in the world that I was ever going to go past the position that I was in, okay, no matter how much money I made the company, because I certainly wasn't making myself any more money than what they were paying me. No matter how much money I made the company, no matter how hard I worked, no matter how much I traveled for them, no matter how many stores I fixed for them, that's as far as I was ever going to go. And I got there quickly. But I can tell you this, with our program and our plan for people, is that we have room at the top for everybody. We want everybody to be at the top, and we have room for people to be there, but they have to be willing to put in some serious work to do it, and to work outside of their comfort zone, or to be able to stop and look at this opportunity for what it is and see that, you know what, this is something I really, really want to do, and be ready to do it. And sometimes people join and they're not initially ready to do it, and it just takes one little thing in their life to push them to this for them to see the opportunity. A lot of times that works too. We've seen that happen in the direct sales world considerably. But there's no, this goes right along with the fact that you can work and make your own schedule, but there's not a work schedule. You don't have to report in. You don't have to say, well, this is what I want to do. Anytime I say I'm going to do this for you, that means if you want it, you do the work for it. If you don't want it, you don't do the work for it. That's the great thing about it. You're not required to do it. I'm giving you an opportunity to earn other things above and beyond what you may currently have the ability to do. And that's where this is great, because as a whole, you'll see that when people are looking at value versus time, value versus energy, and value versus effort, well, those things all to me matter, because I feel like if I'm putting in a lot of time, energy, and effort for a company, then I want to see results, and I want to see the things that I think are important to me come out of it. And a lot of times it doesn't. And even when I'm making suggestions to the company and say, this is what you guys really need to be doing, well, I don't necessarily always see the value in that either, And so for me, I think that really is rough on me to be structurally satisfied with that happening in those situations, because a lot of people don't understand when I do something for a company, I get paid, but I also like that recognition and appreciation for it too. So, but because there's no corporate ladder to climb, because there's no crazy work schedule for you, and because there's really no particular issue with how you get there, you just have to put forth the effort. There's no cap on your earnings. And I'm going to show you guys something here in a minute, and it's going to blow your mind. But there's no cap on your earnings. And how many businesses can say that? When you work for a company and you devote 3 to 5 years to a company, at most you might have gotten a raise for $1 or so, maybe $2. And you may start with a company. So at the end of 5 years, you might be making $2 or $3 more than you did before, right? But how would it be if you devoted 3 to 5 years to grow your business and not only will you get extra time in your day because you're going to be working half as much as some of these other people that work full-time jobs, you're going to get a lot more freedom, and you're going to be able to take control of your life because you'll have the money to do it, you'll have the time to do it, and you'll know how to manage that precious commodity, which is time. And I would never stop telling you how, to stop growing your business. But there are a lot of people in the multi-level marketing and direct sales world that do after the 4th or 5th year. And they basically just start speaking and doing things that help motivate their groups and keep their groups functioning and moving forward. But I tell you what, you can enjoy the harvest of your efforts. And that's one of the things that are great about multi-level marketing and direct sales, is that you put forth effort and energy, you teach people how to do what you do, and then you reap the rewards of that, and they also reap the rewards of that as well. And then we talk about some residual income. Here's the great thing about residual income. If you've ever been in insurance sales, or you're a writer and you wrote books or articles or anything like that at all, and it gets published in newspapers, or you get published as a writer, then you get residual royalties on things, right? Well, that's what the residual income of this is. You get paid on the overrides of all the people in your groups that put forth effort. I'll tell you this, that residual income can build exponentially month after month for you if you put forth that energy and effort, and then you're able to train and motivate your people to do so and can continue to do it. You'll always have that residual income there. And that's the wonderful thing about it. And then you just basically learn how to use that residual income to make more money, and then you're going to be set. And that's just use of your time. And that's the one thing I love about residual income, is that it's passive. It means that you put forth effort and energy over here on the left-hand side, and you're getting paid over on the right-hand side. You're still getting paid on the left-hand side for the energy and effort you're putting into it, but you're starting to get paid from the right-hand side, and you did really not a whole lot there in order to get that money, right? And so that's a wonderful thing about residual income. And I think that that's something that everybody is interested in, is being able to leverage your time and energy to do that. Support and help is already here for you. I'm a phone call away. All your support for the company is a phone call away. Your upline is a phone call away. Everybody wants you to be successful, okay? And so these things are all important when you're talking to somebody about the opportunity. And you tell them, say, listen, we've got great support, we've got great help. They want to do everything they can to make you successful. They're there for you to call. They have a lot of things on the Consultant Learning Center for you to watch and learn, so you get a better idea of what's going on. But one of the things I love is that you build a huge community of friends within this. And so you start, getting around people that have like-minded thoughts and goals and values. And then pretty soon you'll find out that, there's a lot of people that I can talk to in this community that are supportive, and they want to help me grow, and they want to get me, help me reach my goals while I'm helping them reach theirs. And that's the great thing about this, because not only does it create that community, but it also creates a culture too. And that culture is of the value of what we offer as a company. But one of my favorite and most important things to me is truly helping us change people's lives and being able to offer the ability on a massive scale to give people opportunity, to give people options in their home for better products to use. And it's like a rock going in a pond. You see the ripples, that they start expanding out from there. And they expand out and get bigger and bigger as they go, And then you can be that ripple to help others expand and grow business and help them be introduced into our opportunity and to see the things that are value to us. And that truly is one of the more important and key things, I think, about Saponify Naturals that makes us different than everybody else. And a lot of people will say that, help people change their lives, right? But how are they doing that? And what is their structure to do that? What are they offering the people? Are they offering them good, solid products? Or are they requiring their consultants to buy products, right? And we want you to sell products, not buy products. And that's why we offer free product for your sales. And the remuneration of that goes hand in hand with effort. We reward effort. We're all about effort. We'll match efforts all day long. My wife and I do that for our children, and we do that for our employees, and we want to do that for our consultants as well. We will match efforts like nobody's business because we want you to be successful and have all the tools necessary. But inside of a direct sales company, in like a party plan or multi-level marketing, you can make profits much faster than you ever could with a traditional business. Most business models average profit after the 3rd to 5th year if they get past their 3rd year. It takes them 3 to 5 years to even show a profit. And within this business model, you can show profit after your very first month. If you know how to manage your money with it, and you know how to do things with your time to leverage that out, I'll tell you what, you'll be able to do more than you probably think you can. And that's one of the things I think are important. But here's a guy, I think this is one of the things that I've always found to be interesting, is leveraging your time. I remember in a training before, I think you even came in, Caitlin, I said that the most precious commodity that you have is your time, because you can't manufacture it. You can't do anything else for it. People work and exchange it for money. They exchange their time for money. Some people exchange their time for money for X amount of dollars to get Y amount of, X amount of time for Y amount of money. And I'll tell you, it's never fair. It's never fair to you. And when you work for somebody else, it's never fair to you what time you are exchanging for the amount of money you're getting paid, regardless of how much you make. Because I'll tell you this, the more you make, the more you work, guaranteed. But John Paul Getty, multi-billionaire. When I say multi-billionaire, he's worth several $billion. And a billion is 1,000 million. Just think about that. 1 billion is 1,000 million. He said he'd rather have the efforts of 1% of 100 people than 100% of his own efforts. Okay, because he knew how to leverage people around him, leverage his time, and get the effort and energy out of them to make him rich and successful. We give you that platform here to do that. We teach you how to do that. We show you, here's how you can recruit. These are the places where you want to recruit. This is what you say to people. All this is available to you. And I think that that's really where, you've got to look at this and say, these opportunities are here for me, and this is really what I want to do, because this will make me successful. It'll make me help other people be successful. It'll help those people be able to have options that nobody else has had. But you know what? This is the one thing that I learned about 15 years ago. I used to make the people I worked for a whole lot of money. I didn't make myself a whole lot of money. I got paid well, but not what they were making, not what they were getting to be able to put in their pocket at the end of every day, and not being able to do a lot of things that they did as commonplace. They were going on vacations, 3, 4, 5 times a year, being able to just enjoy themselves with their family, giving their family a lifestyle that was free of worry and and care, and being able to do things that they wanted to. Now listen, I'm a simple kind of a person. I don't require a lot of the frilly things to be happy, and I don't require huge amounts of money in the bank to be happy. But hey, if it's in there, I'm going to be just as happy either way, so I might as well have it in there, right? And so for me, I look at it like this. If I can help you be your own boss and be successful and make a lot of money for yourself and your family, then you're going to love what I've done for you, and you're going to be loyal, and we're going to continue to give you all these great opportunities and provide you even more and more benefits and more great growth opportunities down the road for things that you can't even imagine at this point, and things that we can't roll out right now because we're still growing as a company, but we have them in place. We want to share it all, but we have to do it in steps and stages. But I want everybody to realize too, when you're your own boss, you have a lot of tremendous tax advantages as well that you can take that you can't take right now as somebody who may not even work or work at home, or live at home, or even work for somebody else. You're pretty tight, and in that way, you can't really get what you want working for somebody else. You have to be your own boss, and you have to make your own way. And trust me, there's a lot of people that do that, and they do it every day. They're very successful at it. And I think that's one of the things that separates the people who have and the people who don't have is the entrepreneurial spirit to try. And even if you fail, you continue to do it, because you know what? Failure isn't failure. Failure is just showing you that's not how I'm supposed to do it. I have to do it another way, because that way doesn't work, right? And I think that's the difference between people who are successful because they learn from maybe not doing something the right way, and failing in this direction, and they just change direction and try something different with it, and then they're successful with it. And in this world, we have so many advantages now that we didn't have 10 years ago and 15 years ago or 20 years ago, because we have technology that is absolutely 100% our friend. We have the internet, we have social media, we have email, we have the ability to Skype, go face-to-face, have these meetings online, share all of these meetings, and share all of our training tools and all these things in their back office on our Consultant Learning Center. All these things now give you all the tools you need. We are completely global. You can have the entire world at your fingertips if you wanted to, if that's how you wanted to advertise online. You can reach out to your friends, your associates, your family in such a quick and easy manner. It's just ridiculous when you think about all the things that you really could do. It becomes kind of overwhelming. And so what I tell everybody to start doing when it comes to technology is this, is you want to make a game plan designed to ease yourself into it so you learn as you go, so that you understand how this works, and then you move to the next thing, learn how it works, and then move to the next thing, and then be able to do each one of those very well so that you're successful with each one of those social opportunities and technology opportunities that are available to you to move your business forward, and to be able to share that information that I'm sharing with you to everybody else who's interested in the opportunity and interested in selling the products or interested in using the products and becoming customers of yours, right? And so those things are important. But one of the other things I think is important, especially in today's economic climate, is being able to retire with income security. Sadly, most people who retire depend solely on Social Security, and that's a fact. It's somewhere in the ballpark of like 82% of all people who retire specifically and solely to Social Security. That's scary, because if you ever really look, Social Security is bankrupt, all right? So they're taking money from our generation's children and their generations of children, moving it backwards. They're kicking the can down the road. They're not being responsible fiscally with our tax money. And so for me, I would rather be able to help you build a phenomenal income and help you teach you a way to use that residual income, offer people in the future, which are financial planners and things like that, that can help you down the road to be able to use your money wisely and put it where it needs to be in order to retire with income security and not ever have to even be concerned with Social Security. If you get it, great. This is just extra money for you. Now, this is one of the things I always thought was kind of neat. I learned this 25 some odd years ago in economics class, okay? My professor was pretty cool. This is probably the only professor I ever really truly thought was ahead of his time in the way that he looked at things. But retire younger than you ever thought you would. All right. So the traditional model of society today teaches us that we should work the 40-40-40 plan. You spend 40 hours a week for 40 years and retire on 40% of what you couldn't live on before. All right? And so think about that. But with us here, within 3 to 5 years of hard work, you'll get income from your efforts that grows monthly, but you'll have fun doing it. You'll learn. You'll be introduced to other things that can help you with your money. And I think that that's the area that people really need to sit down and look at. Short-term goals and long-term goals or objectives have to be part of your plan. You have to look at what you can do today, right? And a lot of people have a hard time measuring those things, right? So if you do the 40-40-40 plan, and my grandfather was a 40-40-40 guy, right? He died on a golf course, retired at 65 years old, had a massive heart attack on the 9th hole, and he had just retired, okay? And so here you go. Your 40-40-40 plan can put you either in Social Security, living on 40% of what you couldn't live on before, and you'll die maybe early. You just never know, and I think that's what Social Security is built around, is a 10-year plan. Once you retire, most people don't think they'll make it past the 10-year mark once they start getting their Social Security, and that's been the rolling statistics, is that at 10 years outside of retirement, most people pass away, and so they get 10 years of Social Security, and that's scary. But if you're doing something and you can continue to do it while you're retired, okay, let's think about this. I'm 46 years old, okay? My plan is to be retired by the time I'm 56 years old. But I still will be managing these companies and still doing exactly what I do now, but I will have somebody else running the day-to-day business. I'm going to be doing things to help everybody be successful, like I do today. So retiring at 56, but still being active in everything that I do, will keep me functioning, keep me mentally healthy, keep me mentally strong, keep me active, and being able to do those things at such a young age. I'll be able to travel more, enjoy myself more, be able to have more fun with my grandchildren and my great nieces and nephews, my children, and those things are important to me. And so my long-term objectives and my short-term objectives are set up to accomplish those things. And so when it comes to that, and thinking about retiring and thinking about those objectives, I can tell you this. If you're somebody that says, well, I'm going to do a diet for 7 days, okay? And I'm going to get on this diet, and I'm going to do it for 7 days. And then 7 days, I'm not going to eat this, I'm not going to eat this, I'm not going to eat this. And then by the third day, you're like, oh, I messed up. I ate that Reese cup, or, oh, I shouldn't have drank that pop, or whatever. Well, you set yourself up for failure, okay? And so the best way to manage your time and to manage these objectives is to do it this way. I'm going to go on a diet, and it's going to start now. And I'm going to work on these next 3 hours because I'm only up for 3 more hours. And in those 3 hours, I'm not going to eat any chocolate, I'm not going to eat any sugar, and I'm not going to eat any bread. And I'm going to drink at least 3 glasses of water. And so with these next 3 hours, you can manage that, right? Those 3 hours aren't going to be difficult for you to manage. Then I'm going to go to bed. When I wake up in the morning, then I'm going to sit down and I'm going to set my next 3 hours up to see how I do with those next 3 hours. I'm going to eat 2 eggs, 2 pieces of bacon, and that's it. No bread, right? And so you do that, and you say every 3 hours, I'm going to sit down at the end of that 3 hours, manage it. Now, once you get good at doing that, maybe a couple of days into doing the 3-hour plan, you bump it out to 6 hours, okay? How does that matter, right? How does this matter to you? Here's how it matters. For the next 3 hours, when I get off here, I'm going to write a contact list of 40 people. I'm going to try to come up with the next 3 hours of 40 people that I can contact to sit down and talk to about the event, or ask them if they'll book a show for me. 40 people, right? 3 hours. I can do this. 3 hours to think about 40 people. And if I can't think about them, I'm going to ask my husband, hey, who do you think would be good at this, or who do you think would be good to talk to about maybe having a show? There you go. That's 3 hours of work, energy, and effort that's going to pay off for you in the future. And then tomorrow when you get up, say, I'm going to take the next 3 hours, and I'm going to start making my calls. And I'm actually going to make the phone calls. And you're going to want to contact every single person on that list. Even if you get a recording, say, hey, this is Caitlin, I'm trying to call you. Hey, this is Debbie, I'm trying to reach out to you. Hey, this is Jen, I'm trying to call you. You reach out to them. They see that, you're getting the calls out. You may not get a hold of people. You call them back. Until you get a yes or a no, you don't stop with that list until you're finished. You take that list, put it in a file. That way you don't call those people back too soon. I'd say 3 to 6 months might be the time frame to maybe call some of those no's back in the future, because they'll see that you're still doing it. They'll be a little bit more buy into it. You'll be a little bit more excited about it, and then they'll start doing it. But again, this ties into the support and help, but building lasting friendships. Tracy, Debbie, a lot of people that worked in Home and Garden Party in the past, we met a lot of people that we still talk to today because those people are important to us, and we made great lasting friendships with them. And so those things all came to be because we were in an opportunity that opened us up to meeting new people that had the same goals and like-minded, experiences and wanted the same things out of life that we did. And so that was really nice because, when you live in the same community or in the same area, you're exposed to the same people. But when you get outside of that and you start going to conventions and traveling a little bit and checking some things out, you get to see things that you've probably never seen before. And that's one of the things I can tell you is important is to expand your mind, expand your opportunities, expand your friends list, expand all the things that you think you would never do before and do them. Because you know what? Life's too short to sit back and just count the hours, minutes, days, and seconds and not try something that you may not be comfortable with. Do it because you know what? I've got your back. If you have a hard time doing it, you call me and I'll sit down and talk with you about it, and I'll tell you why you can do it, because I have 100% faith in everybody that they can accomplish anything they set their minds out to do and anything they try to do. It may not be easy. Nothing's ever easy if it's going to be successful or work well for you, okay? You're going to have to put a little effort and energy into it. But here's the area that I think other companies are going to fall short on with us, is our recognition and appreciation. We are, without a doubt, effort matching people, like I said before. I worked for a company for a long time. I used to work my butt off for them all the time. Very seldom did I ever get, Shane, you know what, you did a great job. You saved that store. That store's making money now. I can't believe it. We've sent 3 people in there. None of those people were ever to get it to turn around. You did it in a month. I didn't get a pat on the back for any of that stuff. I just got sent to another store to do it for them again, to make them more money, right? I didn't have anybody ever tell me that they were going to give me a raise because I did that. It never happened. I got an annual review and an annual raise. That's all I ever got. But you know what? We're going to recognize you for your efforts. We're going to recognize you for everything. I put that six show lineup contest out there for you because I want to get you to email me back those 6 shows. And if you do that, and then you hold those shows, and you do $200 for each of those shows, I'm going to give you $100 in free product. Not to mention, I'm going to pay you for your commissions on those and everything else that you do. That's just a fact. Nobody else is doing that. Okay, nobody else is going to give you those opportunities. If they do, they're going to make you sell $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 in order to get it. I'm not going to do that. And that's on top of everything else that we already have built in. So, and I'm going to do this all the time because I want you guys to be motivated and excited about what you're doing, and to be thankful about the opportunity that we're giving you and the products that we're giving you to sell, because they're the best on the market, guys. They are, without a doubt. If you see the testimonials that we get in and what people say that these products do for them, you should be like, listen, and this is these products are the best. You should see the reviews that people love them. They're getting great results with them, and feel confident in that, and the confidence has to be there. Contests and rewards, these are another thing. We have great contests and rewards. I've never worked for a company that came up and told me if I did this, they're going to send me to the Caribbean. Okay, never in my life have I ever had another company that I've ever worked for tell me that. Shane, if you do this, we're going to send you on an all-expense paid trip with your wife to the Caribbean. Never happened. Okay, it's never happened ever in the history of my life until I got involved in direct sales and multi-level marketing. So think about that. When you're working for somebody else and they want you to do more for the same amount of money you're making now or for the same thing that you're doing now. And don't get me wrong, direct sales isn't for everyone, okay? But our program is truly a great way to become financially free from the burdens of traditional thought processes and ways of doing things. When I was in college and I had economics classes, they used to always talk about the strategy of the 40-40-40 plan and the strategy of the college education, I'm not going to give you 4 reasons right now why your college educations are worthless, okay? But that's not something we'll get into. But I could send that out to you guys, and you read that, and it'll blow your minds. But the reality of this is really simple. Is while you're still working, is it for yourself, or are you making all the money for you and not your bosses? Are you making the money for somebody else? Why not make the money for yourself? Okay, and that to me is the key. Why not make the money for yourself? So I'm going to show this to you guys real quick because I think this is important. There's a PowerPoint that I'm working on for another deal, and this is going to blow you away, okay? And so I was perusing through a site that I go to, and I was looking on the top 200 millionaires that have been made by multi-level marketing, direct sales. And so I created a list, not a ton of them, but I went from the top. And these companies, by the way, are U.S.-based companies that have been around for quite some time. A lot of them have been in business longer than I've been alive. But we'll start with number 2, okay? Dexter and Bertie Yeager. I know them personally. In college, I was involved in Amway. I traveled a little bit within that. I made a little bit of money doing it, but I knew Dexter and Bertie. And at that time, 20 some odd years ago, they were not sponsoring people anymore. They were not really selling a whole lot anymore. They have their sales that they would bring in every month, but they make $1.3 million a month. This is 2016 numbers, okay? So these numbers are from last year from tax reportings, okay? And this is from the companies directly. Bertie and Dexter are the second highest paid designers or consultants or representatives in the world. $1.3 million a month is what they make. $15.6 million a year, okay, in Amway. All right, everybody's heard of Amway. Now let me explain something to you. I pretty much could have populated this whole list with Amway representatives, okay, because of the 200, I bet you 120 of them were Amway reps. But these people have been with Amway for a very long time. And when I say a very long time, they were there at inception, at ground floor, okay? 13, Barry Chi and Holly Chen. I don't know them personally, but they make $500,000 a month, monthly. That is correct. I'm not saying yearly. I'm saying monthly. They get a check every month for $500,000. They make $6 million a year with Amway. Another company, Juice Plus, Jeff Roberti, number 14th in the world in income in direct sales. $450,000 a month is what he makes, okay? $5.4 million a year. That's just absolutely ridiculous, okay? If you think about what he's doing, he built a team around him, a team of people to duplicate what he does, and that's his reward, okay? Now, he probably sells a little bit in there. I don't know. Probably not, maybe. He probably just organizes and speaks to his groups now. That's probably all he does, and probably he just does his bare minimums to get his bonuses. Herbalife. Herbalife's been through the ringer here in probably about the last year and a half, 2 years. They've been through a massive federal lawsuit, which they settled out of court for millions and millions of dollars, but they're still a powerhouse in the industry of direct sales. And their top salespeople, Enrique and Graciela Varela, they make $4.7 million a year. They get $395,000 a month in Herbalife. They're the top producer for the company. Okay. Jeff and Maureen Miller of Melaleuca, $380,000 a month. Okay, a month is what they make. $4.5 million a year. Okay, and I got a doTERRA rep on here, Andy and Natalie Goddard. Now these are the people that actually are at the top. They're part of the founding group of doTERRA. They make a $750,000 a month. $3 million a year is their annual salary. Okay, and then right below that is Greg and Carol Johnson of Young Living. You know, they make $175,000 a month. So let me ask you a question. Could you use $10,000 a month? Would that be better than what you have now? You know, $120,000 a year. Would that be an improvement to your income? And to me, you know, I would say that would be great. I would love an extra $10,000 a month in my income stream. Okay. Well, these people have $175,000 a month, up to $1.3 million a month going into their income stream every single month. Dexter and Bertie Yeager, by the way, they own a big house. I'm sorry, went to the wrong one there. They have a massive home in West Virginia, right on the river there, coming into the Ohio River, off of the New River. There, they have a house in Michigan, up in Ada, near Amway's corporate offices they bought. So when they travel up there for the conventions, they just stay in their own home. I mean, this is crazy. Guys, I'm just telling you that this is the opportunity right here. These are the top 200. The number there for Sherry Brown is wrong. That 1.3 million a month is wrong. That's 1.3 million a year, and I didn't get the other number transferred in there. And that she's the top producer with Unique, you know. And so, and there's other people that are in this. The number one rep in the whole world works for a company but it's over in India or something like that, and it's not an American-based company. They don't even do business here, and so I didn't put them or include them in the list. But they make $43 million a year off of their group, right? And so I'm not showing you this to intimidate you, to show you that, wow, that's a lot of money people can make, right? I'm showing you this because the opportunity is available to you to duplicate what they've done. It doesn't matter the vehicle you drive. Saponify Naturals will get you there if you do what they've done. They've spent the time, effort, and energy to go out there, hustle, get themselves past whatever hangups that they had, and speaking with people and just being honest with them about the opportunity. As I'm being honest with you about it today and talking to you about it, and and telling you why I think it's important and why I think you guys are ultimately all going to be successful with the things that we're doing. Because I want you to be successful. I want all of you to see the availability of this and how it can affect your life in a positive manner and others. And I'll tell you this again, we offer that kit for a reason. There's everything you need in it. And now you buy other things, sales aids and tools and things like that. That's great. I'm going to look at that and what you guys purchase on a monthly basis. And there's going to be contests for you to earn the amount of money that you spend in sales aids and things back. If you put forth the effort and energy, we're going to match those things, right? Because I know you're building your business just like we had to build ours, and I know it takes a lot of effort and energy. So guess what? What I do for people is this, that 6 lineup plan. I see people buying sales aids, banners, different things like that. It costs you some money to do that, right? So I say, okay, guess what? Now, next month, you hit this number. For every penny you spent on sales aids, you're going to earn it back on top of getting paid. How can I do that? Because I know that if I help you be successful and I help you manage your finances in that way, then you're going to work your butt off for us, and you're going to work your butt off for yourself, and you're going to work your butt off for other people to help change their lives, to help us do the same thing. And I think that that's the reward that we can give you. And we want to reward you guys in a way that has never been seen before in this industry. And we want to make sure that that's something that's special for all of us. And I think that we can do that for you by you guys understanding that we're here for you. And we want you to be successful. So hopefully you guys got a little bit out of this tonight with this list here for the 20 reasons. The reason I put this together is Debbie and I talked about this, and we've spoke to some consultants in the past, and they talked to Debbie and said, well, give me some reasons why Saponify Natural should be a company that I'd want to be a part of and want to join. And so Debbie was talking with them and on the phone, and she named off 5, 6, 7 reasons, and they're like, yeah, well, that's just really not enough to impress me. That's not enough to really get me excited about it. And Debbie said they told her that there should be at least 20 reasons why somebody would want to be a part of our company and want to be a part of what we're doing. And so, that was a challenge to me to sit down and really discuss some of the things that were important to me about what we do, And so Debbie, she said the top 20 reasons for Saponify. Direct sales is totally terrific, but I think we are really blessed to have Saponify. I would like all those on the call to type in reasons they love the Saponify. Example, our products are chemical-free. It is really a ground floor opportunity, helping people with staying well and the use of essential oils. Direct contact to the owners and being able to see that. Yeah, I appreciate that, Debbie. I'm again, vested in the fact that I want everybody to be successful with these reasons, to be able to use these reasons, to be creative with these reasons, to maybe even add more reasons to it. You know what? I mean, this is off of, this is from me to you, telling you the reasons why I feel that I would share this with you, okay, and why I would share this opportunity with people, because of these 20 reasons right here. So for me, this makes it. Toxin-free products for your kiddos. Absolutely, Caitlin. You know what? The reasons why we have the baby products is for really, it's a twofold thing. One, we were approached by the Amish community in our area, and we were asked to create them. And number two, the American Pediatric Society talk about sudden infant death syndrome and how mineral oil, which is in everything that you use in kid products today, it's in every lotion that you buy, et cetera, et cetera. Mineral oil is either petrolatum, petroleum jelly, or mineral oil. That's 3 ways it comes. And the fact that the talc and the powders and things like that are such a small particle gets in their respiratory system and can cause problems. The doctors are all still really talking about whether that mineral oil is causing their body to overheat at night, or some of those things are being caused there. But because of what we make, the American Pediatric Society loves our products because they're large particles. We don't use talc. We don't use mineral oil. We use healthy ingredients. If your kid accidentally swallows something that we have, you're not gonna have to do anything. There's nothing you need to do, with the exception of maybe essential oils, but you're going to keep those out of their reach. You don't have to worry about that. But if they bite into the soap, big deal. If they swallow a little bit of our lotion, doesn't matter. They're not even going to get sick. These are the great things that we can say. And I appreciate that. I really do, guys. I appreciate all those reasons. And again, like I said, these are the 20 reasons why I put this together for you. So I want you to know why I feel like you guys are here, because that's what I'm doing for you. And all these things I really want to do for you, because I feel like the more people that we can touch and help their lives and to help to change their lives and improve them, these are lifelong customers that you're going to have and potential consultants. So I really appreciate everybody being on here tonight. I've got a really cool plan for us next week. It's going to be starting to get into talking about our products, okay? And I think that that's going to be an area that everybody's going to really benefit from. So we'll be doing our product growth, and we'll be talking about our Radiance products next week in full. We'll be talking about ingredients. We'll be talking about why we made them and things like that. We're going to do that for all of our groupings, and then we're going to do that for a lot of our individual products. So I will see you guys next week at 9 o'clock, and look forward to talking to you then. And if you guys need to get a hold of me in any way, you can call me or you can email me. Thanks a lot tonight for getting on here. I really do appreciate it again. And I tell you what, we're doing a great job, guys. Everything's moving forward like we want it to. A lot of good things are happening. So again, have a great evening, and I really appreciate it. So thanks for watching.